Guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make my one pot smoky delicious, non-clumpy, no soggy zone jollof rice. Now I absolutely love making jollof rice, and I like it because this method that I use is fast. It's very nice. It fills up the smell of my house. My husband loves it, my friends love it when they come over and I serve them this. So I'm just going to show you guys how to make that in this video. So before you start salivating, let's get right into the tutorial. So we're going to be using a couple of things, but the first thing I want you to do is to get your onion. I'm going to be using a small bulb of onion, and I'm just going to chop it finely. If you watch my tutorials, you know that I'm not a fan of extremely chunky onions. I like my onions kind of, medium size, so that's what we're doing here. So once that's done, you want to blend your peppers. Now I didn't show you the exact peppers I used, but if you look at the screen you can see the types of pepper that I used. I like my jollof rice spicy, so that's the combination that I prefer to use for my jollof rice, and I'm not going to use all the peppers. I'm just going to use about half of this portion. Now, one important thing for me when I'm cooking is the type of pot that I use, and for my jollof rice recipe, this is the preferred pot for me. It's like a cast iron pot. I really like this pot. It's good quality, it doesn't burn so bad, doesn't even burn. It's just great. Now, as you can see here, I already put some oil in it. This is just regular vegetable oil. I put about, let me say, 4 full spoons of that, and then I'm just going to turn my burner on, and I'm going to put it on medium heat, as you can see me doing here. So once I do that, I just place my pot back on the burner, and then I add my chopped onions from earlier. Then we use a wooden spoon just to stir everything in, which is just the onions and the oil, till it's a bit caramelized. Now I'm just going to be showing you a few things we're going to use. We're going to use, I think, pureed tomatoes, or tomato paste, actually that's what it's called, tomato paste. And then we're going to use some thyme, we're going to use some curry, and yeah, that's what we're going to use for now. Now can you see that onions are kind of frying nicely just the way we like it? So I'm going to empty about half of this tomato paste into my pot, and I'm just going to stir it. Like, just imagine that we're trying to fry stew. Then I'm going to put my thyme. You guys know jollof rice without thyme is jollof rice without flavor. So we're going to put some thyme. You're going to stir that in as well. After that's done, we want to ensure that, can you see like the way the oil is floating? Yes, and then you add your curry powder. Curry is important for the color of the jollof rice to be right, even if it's not yellow. So here we're just going to be putting some cube seasoning. I'm just putting 1 cube, not 2, just 1, and I'm using Knorr. For this dish, I usually mix the 2. I use Knorr and I use Maggi as well, but I'm just going to use Knorr here. And then we're just going to stir that in. At this point, your entire house should be smelling like a very nice restaurant, and your neighbors wondering who is the chef around. So yeah, so once that's done, we're just going to pour in our blended peppers from earlier. As you can just see the quantity I'm using, and we just go in and stir that in again and leave it to cook. So the rice that I use for my own type of jollof rice is very important as well. We don't want the kind of rice that swells too much or just encourages sogginess. So we're going to be using this golden Seller basmati rice from Asli. I absolutely love this brand. I use it for literally all my rice dishes. I am not sponsored, so don't think I'm just giving them a shout out. It's a really good brand of rice. So this is just the quantity I'm using, and then you wash it. So after about 10 minutes, we would go back to our, pepper mix that has been cooking for a while, and then I just stir just to ensure that everything is well distributed. And then I go in and I pour in the washed rice. I washed the rice about 2 to 3 times. I didn't think that was important, if not this to show. If not, this video would just be too long. And then I stir in the rice into the pepper mix that has been cooking or frying in quotes for a while. And then I ensure that all the rice grains are buried under the sauce. Can you see what I'm doing? Buried under the sauce. And once that's done, you want to add your chicken stock if you have some at home. I didn't have a lot, so I just used some and I added some water. But if you have chicken stock, this is awesome. It ensures that the flavors come out so strongly. And then once that's done, I just cover it, and I still leave it on medium heat, and I leave it to cook. About 10 minutes of cooking, the rice should have soaked up the pepper mix a bit, but it's not done. It's still very hard. It's still not cooked, so you're not going to take it off the fire now. Then you put in your Maggi or your Knorr, anyone that you prefer. Here, can you see I'm using 2 cubes? So in total, we're using 3 cubes. Notice that I did not use salt at all for this recipe. This is just the way I like to cook mine. And then I kind of stir it from under up, just to ensure that, every seasoning that I put reaches every part of the rice. Then I go in and I cover my rice with a foil paper. This is a very, very important step. This is what gives it that, would I say, smoky kind of smell and taste. And then we're going to take up our heat a bit, just a bit more. So no longer medium, but a little bit high heat. Then we just leave it to cook for another 10 minutes, thereabout, maximum 15 minutes. Now, you know it's basmati rice. We don't want it to be soggy, so you don't need to cook too much. The water should dry up. It may burn a bit, but that's actually fine. No issues with that. So once that's done, you want to go back and then you take off your foil and look at your rice. At this point, the smell should just be, tantalizing you. And then you look at your rice. Can you see it still has a bit of a sheen? I'm going to move closer and look at it, but that's just because it's actually fresh off the fire. I don't like to eat my jollof rice straight up. I like to leave it for like 5 minutes and let it cool down a bit. And then so you guys can see, how, what would I call it? Grainy it is. No clumpy, no soggy, no mold, just nice buka kind of rice. Have you seen? I've already eaten some out of it. I just went back to serve it so I can show you for this video. At this point, you can serve it with chicken like I did. I already had this chicken before, so I just put it in the oven for 10 minutes and then I just served myself. This food is so yummy. Please, if you try my recipe, please let me know. I didn't use salt. I just used cube seasoning and everything that I did for the base of the jollof, so that's what makes it really yummy. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave a comment, and you share with your friends. And when you do this recipe, when you do it at home, make sure you tag me. I'll definitely love to hear from you. Till next time, stay blessed. Bye bye.